The tyranny of distance is a phrase that keeps coming back to Elliot Ross when he thinks about this picture. The scene feels so small that at first blush, talking about distance and isolation seems weird. That is, until you learn that the man in the picture intends to make this cave his home, and that outside the cave is the whole of the Australian outback. This cave is actually part of a small mining town called Coober Pedy, which is a name with a pretty great history.
Coober Pedy in the indigenous tongue means white man's hole.
That's Elliot, the photographer who led us through this place. Anyway, Coober Pedy got that name because 100 years ago, European miners found opal here. And true to form, white men have been digging holes and excavating the precious stone ever since. Though nowadays miners from all over the world live here. For Elliot, who traveled to Coober Pedy to learn about the community, it was a shocking place to see for the first time.
For miles and miles, it's just plain, red plain with lumps and little hills of dirt where people have dug holes looking for opal and abandoned cars, and I was like, oh my gosh, what is this place? This is incredible.
What the place is a study in extremes. This part of the Australian outback is scorchingly hot, bone dry, more than 300 miles from any kind of civilization. And it's prone to dust storms that sound like this. A place this extreme certainly feels tyrannical, but according to Elliot, it also creates a certain frontier spirit. Take for example opal mining, which the residents have managed to keep in their own scrappy hands and away from big mining corporations.
People have made these incredible machines. Every single part is homemade. It's really a special thing.
Or consider the subject of that first photo. Most of the residents of Coober Pedy live in underground homes to avoid the sun and the heat, and the man in this photo, who Elliot called Eddie, was looking to build a new home for himself. Elliot met him and toured what was, so far, a hole in the ground. But it was Eddie's hole in the ground, and like any good frontiersman, he saw it as much more.
I was like, hey Eddie, can you go sit in that chair really quick? I think we need a picture of you as the benevolent dictator of this underground lair.
Elliot has visited a lot of distant, isolated places in his travels, and after being welcomed in and shown all of Coober Pedy, he's got a theory about places like this. And it's a theory that's really gotten under his skin.
You need to have some sort of hospitality to survive, and for your neighbors to survive. So there's this codependence that builds and grows and nurtures in this sort of environment that I think is beautiful. And a lot of people kept repeating this one thing, like, if you stay more than 10 days, you never leave. That's the rule. 10 days. 10 days you fall under a curse and you'll never leave. I ended up spending, I think, 2.5 weeks there it was. I didn't stay, but a lot of me wanted to stay.
If you loved this episode and you want even more Seeker, check out Seeker Stories on Vessel, where you can get all our videos 3 days earlier than anywhere else on the internet. Click the link in the description for your free 30-day trial. If you're looking for more stories like this, check out this video about what it's like to take a vacation to the most isolated country in the world.
You did get the impression that they'd just been created purely for tourists to go to on a bus. There were no other people around there.
And as always, don't forget to subscribe. Thanks for watching.